thank you so much for joining me today for our nice updated yoga flow. This is a little bit over 30 minutes, but I want you to just take it easy. We're going to start seated, and we're going to go into some standing poses and then head back down to the floor. So feel free to take any type of modifications or adjustments you might need to make this practice your own. Starting in a nice seated position, make sure that your shoulders are nice and centered right underneath the ears and stacked right underneath your hips. You're sitting up as tall as you can. As you breathe in through your nose, let your belly fill with air, and then slowly exhale out of your mouth. Alright, let's start by bringing our hands out to the sides. We're going to do a few arm seated salutations. So really extend through your fingertips, inhaling as you reach up toward the sky, exhale as you press the energy down through your center. And as you can see, I'm trying to keep a nice relaxed pace, so really be intentional about how much you're inhaling and exhaling with each movement. Excellent job. As we take these last few, just really try to make a nice big kind of, rainbow around you. Nice little shield of energy, positive energy from the sun or whatever type of nature that you have around you. Alright, so as we come back into the center, I'm going to gently open up my eyes, or you can keep them closed as we go for a few head circles. Take your time with this. Just make sure to start your circle small in one direction before you move to larger circles. And we switch to either side, doing a few at a time. Next, I'm going to get my shoulders, so rolling the shoulders all the way up to your ears in nice big circles. And I put my hands on my shoulders just to get a little bit more awareness of the movement. We're taking both sides, so really breathe and sit up nice and tall. From here, I'm going to plug one hand down into the floor, and I'm going to reach all the way up and over, making sure that I am having both shoulders face the front, so I don't want to be twisted. Just have a nice big side stretch. Inhale as you reach up, exhale as you come to the side. Awesome. Let's go on to your hands and knees, and feel free to put any type of cushion if you'd like underneath your knees for better support. But we'll go into a few cat-cows. So as you go into your cat, inhale, reaching up, belly button goes down to the floor. Exhale. Actually, that's the opposite. Oopsie. Here's the cow. Yep. And then the cat as we arch our back. And notice that I have my toes moving as well. This kind of adds a little bit of an extra leverage to get a better stretch. And you can move side to side, your spine as well. See how everything is feeling. Alright, now let's press into our hands and lift our knees up. If this is too much our plank, it's okay. You can always stay in your tabletop position and continue doing your cat-cow. If not, you can go right into your down dog, pressing your hips up and back and keeping your knees bent for this first round. Lift your chin, look forward, And then walk your feet forward nice and slow. Feel free to bend your knees. You can hang here for a breath or two. Optional as well to just hold on to your feet, but really I encourage you to let your head drop. And if you'd like to grab onto your elbows for a little bit of a ragdoll, that's good as well. Take your time to roll up. And when you're ready, kind of shake it out a little bit. Recenter yourself. And we're going to start with a nice standing pose, which is a leg grab or knee hold. Push through the floor as you do this. And make sure to just hold gently. You don't have to hold too hard. You also have the option to hold underneath or on the hamstring side of your leg. You can go lower, whatever you need to try and keep your balance. And we go back into a mountain pose in between, stacking your shoulders and your hips and your feet. Press into that right leg, bring the left knee up. We can add an extension, and it's okay if the leg doesn't go all the way up. You can do it at any height. Press through the floor to bring that leg back down, back to mountain pose. Take a breath here. And next we'll bring that other leg up, pressing through the standing leg, holding underneath the thigh if you need to. Just get your balance, take your time. Extend the leg when you're ready. Nice job. You can bring it back in and bring it down, just testing on our balance. Take a breath here in your mountain pose. And then when you're ready, we'll go right into tree pose. So that right leg is our base. Bringing the left knee up, open up your hips, press through the floor with that standing leg. And you want to try to squeeze your glute as well for that bent leg. Excellent job. You can grow that tree by lifting up your arms if you'd like. And as you come back in, bring that knee up just to test your balance again, and we can switch. Other knee comes up, opening up the hip, drawing the knee outward, pressing through the floor, lifting up to extend or grow that tree. Taking a really big breath here. And then when you're ready, bring that knee back in, check balance, and bring it down. Nice. Big inhale, reaching up. Go into a side bend, lateral fold, holding on to the wrist of each side. Exhale as you go to each side. And then go into your forward fold when you're ready, dropping your head down, letting yourself hang. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. You can plant your palms, one hand at a time. Walk your feet back so that you're in a plank position. So I'm really pressing through my toes, radiating the heels down. Knees come down if you'd like, as another option. Breath here. And then when you're ready, bring your knees down, sending the chest forward and sliding through gently for a baby cobra. Lifting up the heart. Big inhale. Exhale as you bring your chest down. And we push back through the tabletop into your down dog. Take 1 or 2 breaths here. When you're ready, you can look forward between your hands, then gently walk your feet forward into your forward fold. Take a small breath here, and then take your time to roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Your head is the last thing to come up. Really go slow. And right back into mountain pose. Hold here, take a breath. And then when you're ready, we'll take a nice big inhale, reaching the arms up. Holding onto one wrist, exhale, lateral fold. Inhale as you come back to center, exhale, other side. Inhale back to center, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms, take your time. Bend your knees if you need to walk your feet back into your plank position, pressing through your toes and your hands. Bring your knees down. Nice big exhale. Inhale, lift your heart, baby cobra. Exhale, you can bring your chest back down. And we go through tabletop into, or a child's pose, that's nice too, into your down dog. Excellent. Awesome. Let's look between your hands right before you bring your feet forward into a forward fold, and then take your time to slowly roll up as we go back into our mountain pose. Take a few breaths here, recenter, and we'll take another salutation. So nice big inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Get ready to plant your palms. Bend your knees to walk both feet back into a plank. Lift your chest, nice. Good, full breath there. And then we'll bring the knees down. Exhale, and then inhale as you lift your chest here, baby cobra. Bring your chest back down. We shift back all the way into your down dog. Excellent job. Take a breath here. Yes. Alright, we transition next as we look forward, slowly walking our feet forward and taking our time to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Excellent job. Alright, so we're back at the top of our mat and we're going to go into our standing poses. So starting at your mountain pose, hands out to the sides, you're going to bring your right foot back, lifting your arms up, and we're going into our our high lunge. Nice job. So my hips are facing forward, reaching the arms up nice and high. Lift up your chest, but if the shoulders get tired, you can bring your hands on your shoulders. Excellent. And we press into the back foot to bring the leg to the front. Mountain pose. When you're ready, you can step that other leg back as we go into our high lunge. It's okay if you lose your balance. Going nice and deep, making sure your front knee is above the ankle and that both of the hips are rotated toward the front. Big inhale, big exhale. Beautiful. Alright, so we're standing in mountain pose. Take at least another breath here. And then when you're ready, get that sweat off. We're going to bring that right leg back. We go through that high lunge and we're rotating the back leg. Yep, so that's the same. Yes, that front knee is going to be right above the ankle. Hips are facing the side. I'm in a little bit of an angle here, so just make sure you're lined up with your mat. Look over that middle finger. When you're ready, we go through that high lunge and we step forward again into our mountain. So we're going to do this each time, going through each pose on the way back to our mountain pose. We took a breath there. Bring that left leg back, arms rise up, shoulders down, core tight. Rotate the back leg. Yes. Opening up the hips to face the edge of the mat. Shoulders as well, facing that back wall. That front knee is right above the ankle. And as always, we're looking over that middle finger. Take your time here. Breathe. two. We're going right back through that high lunge, reaching the arms up and then stepping through that back foot into your mountain. Yes, get all of that off. Excellent job. How are you doing? Hopefully you're feeling good. Feel free to take a break here. It's totally okay. I didn't edit this out on purpose so that you could take a break. And then when you're ready, I went from my mountain pose and I brought the right leg back. We go through another round. We add on. From your high lunge, we go into your warrior two, making sure everything's in alignment. That front knee is going to straighten, and I bring that back foot a little bit more in. Hinging at the hip, I'm reaching forward with that front arm, and I'm reaching behind that front leg, which is my left leg. Now you want to look down, and you can put your hand either to the floor, maybe your shin, or your leg. We're rotating open toward the edge of your mat. If you have hyperextension in your knees at all, or you're like a little bit hyperflexible, just bring your legs closer together and make sure to go at a reasonable level for you. We go through that high lunge back into our mountain pose. And when you're ready, we go on to the other side from the high lunge through your warrior two. And then we straighten the front leg. I'm going to bring my foot more in because I have a little bit of a hyperextension. Reaching and hinging at the hip. Reaching down, looking down. Shoulders are faced to the back wall. Really breathe here. Nice side stretch. When you're ready, reverse that, going through that warrior two, high lunge, and then stepping it forward. Mountain pose. Woo. Awesome. Take a breath. Alright, next we are going back through the flow, so that right leg is stepping back into the high lunge, reaching your arms up. Inhale, exhale, we go into your warrior two. Inhale, we're going to straighten that front leg. Exhale, as you come, hinge forward, reaching that front arm down, looking down for your triangle. Excellent. I'm going into a side angle now by bending that front knee and reaching the top arm up, sort of like that rainbow again. It's a really nice side stretch. The hips are both facing toward the side. And I'm going to go through the high lunge and then step forward when we are done. Alright, so recenter yourself here, and I'm just putting my hands on my stomach so I can make sure that I'm breathing into my belly. In our next round, we take that left leg back, reaching our arms up for our high lunge. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bending that front leg into your warrior two. Straighten that front leg. You can bring the back leg in. Hinge at the hip as we go into your triangle. Keep breathing. And when you're ready, we're bending that front knee, taking the shoulders up a little bit, letting the knee go over the ankle, pressing out of the shoulder as much as you can, and then reach up. So again, the shoulders and the hips are facing over toward your side as much as you can. We go through that warrior two, the high lunge, and then step forward. Nice work. Take a breath. Alright, so from here, we're going to take that left leg back, actually the right leg back, reach your arms up for a nice high lunge. Big inhale, big exhale. Inhale as you lift up, straightening the front leg and the back leg. Exhale as you come into your warrior two. Breathe here. Inhale, straighten that front leg, hinge at your hips to reach forward, and go all the way down into your triangle. Feel free to put your hand somewhere by the ankle, the shin, above the knee, but not directly on the knee. And next, we'll shift that front leg and bend it so that we come into your side angle. Good, really breathe here. Open up your chest and your side body. Now that right hand and the left hand, they're both gonna go down to the floor, and I'm shifting my feet so that they're parallel. We go into a wide-legged forward fold from here. So you can release your arms, maybe you wanna hold onto your elbows. Feel free to bend your knees if you need to, maybe shake your head yes or no. And you can also bring your legs closer together. Take some breaths here. All right, when you're ready, we're going to inhale, lifting your chest up, straightening my arms, and I'm going to walk my hands over toward my foot, step forward with the other leg, and slowly take my time to roll up. Nice strong mountain pose. Take a few breaths here. Nice big inhales through your nose, exhale out of your mouth. When you're ready, that left foot's going to step back. So we are in our high lunge. Both hands come all the way up. Big inhale. Exhale. Next, inhale, straighten that front leg. Open up the hips. We go into your warrior two. Beautiful job. Let's straighten that front leg when you're ready. Hinge at your hips and reach down into your triangle. Either somewhere reaching behind your foot, on the shin, on the thigh. And then when you're ready, that front knee is going to bend, keeping your hips and shoulders open. Open up your side body for a side angle. Excellent job. We'll bring both hands down to the floor in just a moment, and you can shift into your wide-legged forward fold. Optional to bring your legs a little bit closer together if you feel like your hamstrings are really stretching here. Nice work. Take a few breaths here. Okay, so from here we'll transition. You can bring both hands down into the front, back to the front of your mat. I'm going to go back into my plank and then sit the hips back and knees down so we're in our child's pose. Feel free to bring your hands a little bit closer to your head if you need to. And widen your knees if you'd like a little bit more of a stretch. Really take some deep breaths here and take a second to relax. Nice job with all of our standing poses. And now let's transition on to our back. Now take your time with all of these poses. Make sure that you're comfortable. Maybe there's nothing in your pockets or on your back. And grab any type of cushion you might need. We can start by bringing both knees to our chest. Really exhale here. And I'm just gonna switch over. Excellent. Alright, so bringing both knees to our chest, and let's go for a nice supine twist. So both knees are going to come onto one side of my body, and I let both shoulders stay down to the floor. Exhale here. Really take your time to breathe. And when you're ready, take a big inhale, bringing those legs back into your body, and exhale as you twist them onto the other side. Shoulders stay down to the floor, and optional to look toward that extended hand and arm. We can stretch out our glutes here. I'm going to bring one ankle above my knee, pushing that knee, yes, away from me and flexing my foot. This is our figure four. Gonna grab behind one thigh, and optional to extend your leg up if you just need a little bit more leverage as well. Nice work. You could feel that stretch on that bent side around the glute area. And we switch on to the other side, taking our time. Make sure that our foot is flexed. Awesome. Holding on to the back of that knee and optionally extending that top leg. Oh goodness, sorry about that. Extending that top leg all the way up to the sky. Don't mind me as I get a little bit weirded out by all the bugs. But just take your time and breathe. Alright, so I'll bring both legs back into my center. And then I will press my feet down. My feet are hip distance apart, and lift the hips up so I'm in a bridge position. This is a nice stretch for our hip flexors. So really take your time to breathe here. And optional to clasp your hands underneath you if you'd like. We'll take our hips down in just a moment. You could just take some time to breathe. I'm going to bring my feet out away from each other and kind of bring my knees in so you get a little bit more of a nice front of the hip stretch before we transition onto our hands and knees. So in this set of poses, let's go ahead and start in our tabletop with our shoulders right above the wrists and the hips right above the knees. Can feel free to do a few cat-cows or any other type of movement before we come into this next part. And so what I'm doing is I'm rotating over to face the side. For you, you might be inside, so face one wall. One knee is bent, the other leg is straight. This is our gate latch pose. So it's a lot for the inner thighs and also the side body. So whatever you do, make sure that your feet are planted and that you're using your core to keep yourself up. So really, really focus on breathing and pressing everything down into the ground. Nice work. We'll do our gate latch pose on the other side. So we have one knee right underneath the hip, the other leg's extended. I'm reaching both hands up. Big inhale and exhale as I go onto that straight side. And I like to do both sides just because it really does feel good on both sides. One side you might feel stretches a little bit more. But either way, make sure that you breathe and relax. Go ahead and we'll transition into a nice child's pose to rest again. Feel free to find the expression that works for you. And just really take some nice, big, deep belly breaths here. This is your time. And next we'll come all the way back up onto our hands and knees. We have a little bit of core. We're going to start with an opposite arm, opposite leg reach. So I'm starting with the hip right above the knee. I'm making sure that the hip is not facing out, but instead facing down to the floor. And my lower back is as neutral as possible. So I'm reaching the opposite hand forward, trying not to bend into my lower back, but instead keeping my core tight. So that was an exaggeration. Keep your core tight. Bring your hand and foot back down to the floor. And inhale, you can reach the other leg up and the opposite arm. Making sure that you're pressing into the floor, lifting up your chest, and creating a nice, strong core. Beautiful job. Good, go ahead and bring that down. Nice work. Take a few seconds just to kind of relax before we go into our plank pose. And I'm going to go onto my elbows for this one. So I'll start by bringing my elbows down. And then extending my legs, straightening them, but also squeezing them together. So press away from the floor and make sure you radiate through your heels. I moved my hands out a little bit more just to put my shoulders in a better position. So feel free to have your hands parallel instead of clasping them underneath you. Breathe here. And when you're ready, you can come back right into child's pose once again. Alright, next we're going to get down to one of my favorite poses, which is the crocodile. So I'm going to lay flat on my stomach, and feel free to skip this if anything on your stomach does not feel good for you. But simply I'm going to bring my hands right underneath my forehead and just breathe here. It's really, really nice if you can let your lower back be in more of a neutral position where you're not sticking your butt out, just in case you tend to get lower back pain. So just try to press your hips into the floor and breathe. And when you're ready, we can transition just by simply rolling over onto our back. Feel free to bring your knees in again if you'd like, for a nice big hug as you showed up today. Excellent work getting through this 30-minute practice today. And we'll go into our last Shavasana. You can extend your legs, and we'll start to relax everything down into the floor. I like to shake it out a little bit if you have a little more energy. And start from your head, eyebrows, your nose, relaxing, your ears and your shoulders, your stomach, your hips. And feel free to place your hands on your lower belly to feel your breathing as well. Continue relaxing into your thighs, your glutes. Relax all the muscles around your knees, your calves, and your toes. And let everything come all the way down and melt into the floor. Take this time here to just really relax, and you'll have a few moments to yourself. Take your time to roll onto your right side before coming up. Give yourself a nice big hug or raise the roof, whatever you need. But thank you so much for joining me today. Excellent job. See you soon.